When we talk about successful Black talent with a ton of passion in the industry, you might think we're talking about the likes of Rihanna and Beyoncé, but nope. Today, we'll be talking to you about an artist that has almost become Rihanna. If you haven't guessed it yet, we're talking about Teairra Mari. She was on the road to success and was finally getting recognized, but then something happened that pushed her down the ladder. Some say Beyoncé was involved in her going flop, but what is the truth here? Without further ado, let's head into it. So, who is Teairra? Teairra Mari was born on December 2nd, 1987, in Detroit, Michigan, USA. Her musical passion was passed down to her through her musician grandmother. She wasn't a huge star, but Teairra was enamored with the music because of her passion. The public enthusiastically responded to her numerous theatrical appearances even before she reached puberty. They saw her ability early on and encouraged her to pursue a career in music. She attended various schools throughout Michigan, but her love of music never wavered. By the time she was 12, she was already recognized as a promising young musician in her community. Somehow, she met the famous rappers Big Mike and Ed K, and they spent the next several years nurturing Mari's talent as a vocalist. She became a remarkable talent thanks to her mentoring, and by 2003, at the tender age of 14, she was already collaborating with major players in the industry. In 2003, she released her first extended play EP named Get Away, which became a modest hit in her own country. Everywhere you went in Michigan, from bars to cafes to clubs, it was a smashing success. She was about to release her first album when Jay-Z discovered her and chose to guide her career. His record label, Rockefeller, signed her. It seemed like 16-year-old Teairra Mari was on the cusp of massive success after publishing her self-titled first album. Since Jay-Z, a respected industry veteran, was advising on the album's production, it was certain to be a hit. But before we continue, are you enjoying this video? Then please give it a like and hit the subscribe button. It really helps me grow the channel so I can bring you the hottest tea every week. Now, let's talk about the success of her albums. No Daddy and Phone Booth, two of the album songs, were huge hits. Its accompanying music videos were equally well received, and the album cracked the top 5 on the Billboard 200. Despite widespread critical acclaim and respectable album sales, about 248,000 copies, it was widely seen as a financial flop and was poised to be a devastating setback for the young performer. To her surprise, she received a phone call informing her that she had been sacked from the company in 2006 after having begun production on her second album.
What happened was I got dropped from Rockefeller on my prom day. You know, they didn't know.
Getting ready for the prom?
Yeah, honey, getting ready. I was putting lotion on my legs, got a phone call, ring, ring. Hey, yeah, we're gonna be letting you go. I was like, oh. I didn't even tell anybody that day.
Her musical career was derailed before it ever began, and she was in her last months of high school graduation when this news came. The following year, she announced the release of her second album, named At That Point, which propelled her back into the spotlight. Audiences adored her music, and she was lauded for her innovative sound. Rappers Nicki Minaj, Rick Ross, and Kanye West were among those that contributed to the album. Despite the album never being formally published, almost all the tracks from it were leaked or made public. Teairra's first mixtape, Don't Make Me Cause a Scene, was published in 2009 and became a commercial hit. In 2010, she released a second mixtape named Point of No Return, which proved to be a commercial success. She rose to prominence as a female rapper through her backing, earning comparisons to industry leaders like Rihanna and Nicki Minaj. Stay tuned to find out the drama that took place. But what happened to Teairra that she vanished from music? Little did Teairra know that things would be changing for her. It might not seem fair, but it looks like her entire fate rested in Beyoncé's hand. With just one comment, Queen Bee was able to disrupt her entire career. So what did Beyoncé say that caused all this chaos? Here's what you need to know about their clash. When Beyoncé mentioned 17-year-old Rihanna, Teairra's label mate, as the one to watch, everything changed. Teairra was dismissed from Def Jam due to poor album sales. Her career has not reached the heights that appeared possible in 2005, despite continuing to sing and make songs. Her most notable recent achievements include her feuds with Ray J, Hazel E, and 50 Cent, and her appearance on Love and Hip Hop. Beyoncé's backing for Rihanna, Teairra's competitor, led to the latter's dismissal from the singer's record company. Maybe Beyoncé didn't mean to snub Teairra like this. Maybe all she wanted was to give a heads up to Rihanna. But things didn't work out in favor of Mari soon after the labels started focusing their efforts on Riri instead of giving Mari the attention she deserves. After all, why wouldn't they know that Beyoncé had publicly vouched for Rihanna? We're glad that Rihanna got the platform she needed to make a name for herself, but at the same time, we're also quite sad that Mari was left on the sidelines fending for herself. And then Teairra moved on to acting. It looks like Teairra quickly realized that with Beyoncé rooting for Rihanna, making a name for herself in the music industry just wasn't going to be good. And that's when Teairra gave up the fight to be a musician and moved on to the acting industry. The acting was another area in which she was engaged by 2009. Her first picture, The Magnificent Coolie T, was a small budget indie that was mostly overlooked. Her second movie, Lottery Ticket, had her in a little better part, and it also starred fellow rapper Ice Cube. As Emily's friend and confidant, Teairra joined Love and Hip Hop, New York's supporting cast for season 2 in 2011. To lay the groundwork for a spin-off featuring Teairra and Erica Mena, many episodes of the season were shot in Miami. However, following the season's trip to Miami, Teairra decided not to return to the program. She appeared in the 2012 film Mac and Devin Go to High School in a minor role. She made her cinematic debut in the leading role of 2013's The Dempsey Sisters. She has also had cameo appearances on reality programs Love and Hip Hop, New York, and Love and Hip Hop, Hollywood, in addition to her film roles. So it looks like she did what she could to climb the ladder again. However, it's not very easy in this cutthroat industry to become famous. And this is why we don't hear a lot about Teairra today. Kinda sad, but it is what it is. And then things were quite chaotic. After that, it didn't feel like Mari was doing any good. She jumped from one project to the next, but none of it was fruitful. She also had quite the eccentric dating life. Through her many years in the public eye, Teairra Mari has amassed quite a reputation for her flings and hookups. Cisco Rosado, Shad Moss, Pleasure P. Cooper, Lil Wayne, and Ray J are just a few men in her past. But once all the drama happened with her musical and acting career, Teairra just couldn't do well. We all heard rumors of her battling with mental illnesses, along with substance abuse issues as well. Her drug and alcohol misuse problems were well documented all over the internet, and a lot of people feel bad for her. Her debut record was a commercial failure, which was the beginning of the end of her promising career. Her mental health issues began after a string of disastrous breakups and were exacerbated by her mother's illness. But that wasn't even the end of it all for Mari. Things eventually got so bad and out of hand that she had to get professional help. For help, she checked herself into a rehabilitation center. We sincerely hope she got the healing she needed to get out of all of her previous failures of hers. Hopefully, once she feels better, she can go back to fighting and making a name for herself. Finally, the most recent Teairra scandal. Currently, Teairra is having a hard time again, as she is brought into the limelight for some financial drama. According to the court documents obtained by The Blast, Teairra Mari filed suit against 50 Cent in May 2018 for sharing pornographic photos of her from Instagram that had been hacked by her ex-boyfriend, Akbar Abdul Ahad. A court ruled in favor of 50 Cent in January 2019 and dropped the case, with Mari being ordered to pay the rapper $30,618 in legal expenses. The next month, Teairra Mari announced that she would not pay the bill and even produced a diss track called I Ain't Got It, in which she dissed 50 Cent. According to reports, Teairra Mari's failure to pay has resulted in a court increasing the cost to the tune of $50,000 that she owes the rapper. She said in an interview with The Breakfast Club that she was struggling financially and she planned to appeal the ruling later this month. What do you think about this whole story? Do you think if Teairra was given the right attention at the right time, would she have been able to surpass Rihanna in terms of fame and fan following? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be the first to see my next video. I post updates like this every week where I uncover the secrets of your favorite celebrities. Goodbye for now.